In this video I'm going to show how we can automate firmware upgrades on devices with a web management interface. So let's look at a typical device with a web management interface. This is actually a mock-up of a device just to basically give us an idea for this proof of concept video. So we log in, general sort of thing, we'll ask for a username and a password. We would then be presented with a menu. There is a menu option here for doing firmware updates, so I will click on that. I can browse for the firmware update file. Is that the one I wanted? Oh yeah, firmware, click on that. Open that, then click on the upload button. That file is sent up to the device and is then used to do the firmware update. So that's how we do it manually. How can we do that automatically? Well, we can do it with a Python program that uses a Python automation module. We give it the device name. We give it the username to log in as. We used admin. And we give it a password. The mock-up, that isn't a real password. Don't worry about it. It's just to make the demonstration look a bit more real. So the program is now controlling the PC and it's gone onto the browser, it's entered the login page URL, it's typing the username and the password. It should now click on the login button. The main menu has loaded up. The script is finding the firmware update option, which is found. It's clicking on that. The firmware update page now appears. And the next step is to select the file, which it does by just typing the full path name. We then click on the upload button and it's gone through and it's rebooting the device. Just waiting a couple of extra seconds just so we can see that it's got to that stage, and it's set the browser back to its default page and the program is finished. And that's great for automating one. What if you've got more than one? Well, we run a slightly different program called generic multi. And instead of specifying just one name, we're able to specify a list of names. So let's do mobilepi again. Let's do another one I've called bridge, and another host name I've called software store. And press return now. So basically the same thing happens. That the generic multi-script is simply calling the first script several times over for each host name, of the host names for each of the devices that we need to upgrade. So we can see here it's doing the mobilepi one, and once it's done that firmware update it should then go on to the next one, which was called bridge. So while it's doing that and we're seeing it work its magic, we can just see how this concept would be very useful if you have a large number of devices which you need to issue a firmware update onto. Having to do that on the web browser manually for lots and lots and lots of devices takes lots of time. It can become error prone because people just miss out steps or they don't type in the right thing. They can maybe get the password wrong a few too many times. You might get locked out of a device. Having it automated like this means exactly the same thing happens to every single device. You can also add logging facilities. The program can be changed to take screenshots at any time. So for example, when we get to the page where it tells us how many bytes have been uploaded and that the device firmware update has started, at that point we could take a screenshot down to a local file name. We could change the file name to have the name of the host in the file name so we know which screenshot referred to which particular device that we were updating. So it was at that point it would be a good point to take a screenshot. So if you have devices like intelligent PDUs or Hawkeye devices, HP ILOs, there's an upgrade process for those. Just about any network connected device where you have a web interface that you can log into and there is a firmware update, like your broadband router, for example. But any device where you've got a lot of them and you need to do this process many times, this is going to save you a lot of time.
You can also use this concept for not just doing the firmware updates. For example, you could log into the device and just find out what the current firmware is. So you could use this to basically get a firmware report. So there we go. It's done all 3 of them while I was talking the way there through, and it's just a very nice proof of concept that you can automate the firmware update of a network connected device. Thank you for watching.